Shane, have you seen Mission Impossible?
Yes.
But have you seen Mission Impossible?
Yes.
But have you seen Mission Impossible?
Yes.
But have you seen Mission Impossible? Okay, but have you seen Mission Impossible? Dead Reckoning, Part 1.
No.
Okay, well, your mission, should you choose to accept it. Watch that movie.
I accept. Okay, so I saw.
Yeah.
I mean, we both saw it because it just came out recently. But you went and saw it first, and then I went and saw it with you. So you've seen it twice.
Seen it twice now.
Now this is your movie that you're showing me,
Yeah.
as opposed to it just being a new movie that we're talking about.
This has happened a couple of times, actually.
It happened with Barbarian. It happened with.
Technically, like the Barbie but I guess the Barbenheimer, because I saw
You saw
was the Oppenheimer side
twice,
of
yeah.
Barbie. This happened one or two other times.
Yeah,
Whatever.
and I'm sure this won't be the last.
Yeah, definitely not. I see way too many movies.
Yeah.
Anyway, this movie and this franchise are cool.
Yeah.
I think best place to start is just with quickly on the before ones, the Mission Impossible through Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah.
Also to say that there's 7 of these and like only one of them is actually not good is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it has kind of an insane track record for quality, more than just about any long-running series.
Truly.
I mean,
legitimately.
I can't think of a series where literally all but one of the first 7 are kind of bad.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's like, you could talk Marvel, where they were like, for a long time, very consistently pretty good. But Mission Impossible transcends that, where they're like consistently pretty great.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, like there was a sophomore slump in Phase 2, you know? Iron Man 2.
No, Iron Man 2 was technically in Phase 1. It was Iron Man.
Oh, I forgot
It was
about
Iron
that.
Man 3 and Thor: The Dark World. But then Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. But okay, so it's Iron Man. Did Iron Man 2 come next?
It was Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2.
Thor.
Hulk is fucking bad.
Yeah.
Thor is pretty good. I like Thor more than most people.
Yeah.
The original Captain America, which is good.
I actually enjoy that movie quite a bit.
That one's good.
It's so specific.
Yeah.
Like it's a specific, like a director had a take and did it. And I missed that.
And then
it was after Captain America, it was Avengers. That was Phase 1.
That was a good one.
Yeah. And then
it's even in that first 5, we have 2 bad movies.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like just one kind of bad movie in the
and
first.
Even with even that kind of bad movie, at least it's like a director's take on the material.
It's a John Woo ass
you know
John Woo movie.
He
which
went
I'm pretty
full
sure
woo.
He wooed it. He wooed on the haters on that one.
But did you like grow up with these, or are these something you've discovered later?
No, I kind of grew up with them. I've been watching the first Mission Impossible since I can remember. The second one I've only seen a couple times because even my parents didn't like that movie. And my dad just likes it when people shoot each other. So, so like he, for him to even be like, I don't know, that one kind of sucks is kind of surprising. And then, like I love, I for a very, very, very long time, I loved the third one.
Yeah.
And I still really like it.
The third one's a ton of fun.
Yeah. I don't think it's like aged wonderfully, and it is very,
it stands out amongst the pack.
It is a J.J. Abrams movie. And it definitely stands out and feels distinct from many of the rest of them. Yeah. But yeah, like I've very much grown up watching this series. I mean, I seriously think the first one came out when I was like 1.
Yeah.
So I've been watching it like the entire time.
So you were an OG fan. You were sitting there
Oh,
with,
yeah, I
your,
was in the
with your little
theater.
bottle, just like,
Hell yeah.
whoa, dude, you see the glass scene? I grew up with them a little bit. I think we saw the first one on like VHS. My
Hell
dad
yeah.
showed it to us, and then I watched the second one with my cousin. And at the time when I was so young and dumb, thought it was cool because he did cool motorcycle stuff.
Yeah.
Can't remember when I saw the third one, and then I saw. This is funny. We would used to do like every Christmas Eve, we'd go out and see a movie. In the first year we did that, started, we did a double feature of Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol and Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows.
Hell yeah.
Which was
dude.
like honestly a fun double feature.
I still have it. I need to go back and watch Game of Shadows. I've only seen it once and I wasn't like in love with it.
It's not as good as the first one, but
Yeah.
I do actually like that movie more than
Yeah.
most people do. But anyway, so that was like the first one I got to see in the theaters and thought it was incredible and like a huge revitalization of what that series would become.
It's funny because you said it's incredible and it was directed by
By
Brad Bird,
Brad
director
Bird.
and writer of The Incredibles.
And
Sorry.
like little known. So this is the interesting thing about these movies is for the first four, the precedent of Mission was that a new director came in every movie.
Yeah.
Like that was just how it was.
Yeah.
And
Brian De Palma, John Woo, J.J. Abrams, Brad Bird,
and then Chris
Christopher
McQuarrie for 5.
Yeah.
But people forget that Chris McQuarrie came on as a story consultant like midway through Ghost Protocol because they had they had story issues. They like, which is crazy because Brad Bird. But
Yeah.
like that's how he ended up getting the job for the next one is because him and Tom Cruise have made like a million movies together.
Yeah.
But he came in and did Mission and like got it, and so Tom Cruise gave him the next one. And then the precedent changed where now this is just Chris McQuarrie and Tom Cruise doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I think
Yeah.
I love the idea of like different director doing a Mission movie because they're so anthology, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To an extent. They kind of start in the McQuarrie era, they kind of start a little bit. But I'm torn on that aspect where I think it's so cool that a different director comes in and takes this character in this world and like just tells a mission story.
Yeah.
But damn it, McQuarrie's really good at making these movies, so
Yeah.
it's kind of
Kind of got a good eye for it.
yeah. But do you have a like loose like I don't even know about ranking. Do you prefer the kind of 90s espionage version of this or do you prefer the massive stunt work version?
I love the original. Like I love the original. Part of that's nostalgia probably, and also part of it is the fact that it is just very, very good. So it's like I do love that version. And like that being said, like that changed pretty quickly. You know what I mean? Like you've got the very first one, which is that, you know, like you said, 90s espionage. The second one is the second one.
Yeah.
Then the third one is a J.J. Abrams movie. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We've got a meaningless MacGuffin and like a great villain and like okay action. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like
Pretty shaky.
yeah, pretty shaky. But like great character work, great. You know what I mean? Like real like stakes. Like
Great Tom Cruise running.
great Tom Cruise running.
Which is an important aspect of these movies.
Maybe the best Tom Cruise running until now.
Until now,
Maybe
possibly.
we'll get to it. Sorry. And then like by Ghost Prot, you're at this area.
Yeah,
You know what I
him
mean? So it's
jumping
like
off the Burj Khalifa.
I think the first like 3 were all very different from each other, and then from 4 on have all had that like insane practical action stunt or stunts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I think you know I think it's like 2 halves.
Yeah.
You know, but the first half is not defined by anything in particular. It's just defined by it is called Mission Impossible and Tom Cruise is going to run.
Yeah, well, defined by the show that predated it a little
Right.
bit, but it's pretty like
Well, that's the thing is even in the very first like movie, they tossed that out the window.
because don't they kill off like the guy who was or make
Right.
him the villain or something?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
It's been a very long time since I've
the
seen it.
person, the character in the show is the villain in the movie.
Yeah.
Like he turns, you know, is a turncoat.
Crazy that worked. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Well, I think the thing that helped was that Mission Impossible, the show, was not the biggest show ever. You
no,
know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
it was just kind of like a thing.
yeah. It's like it would be different if they killed off Gilligan of Gilligan's Isle, but like I mean, like fucking Jim Phelps or whatever the fucking character's name is. I don't think anybody really had like that much like you killed off Jim.
Yeah,
like I don't think anybody was going to do that for the original Mission Impossible show.
Yeah, okay. So now on to Dead Reckoning. Part 1.
Part 1. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. God, guys. Just guys. The names. Just the names.
Come on.
The only action series that does it worse is John Wick.
You don't like the names of these movies?
But the Dead Reckoning Part 1? Why does it have to be Part 1? Just make it...
Because I think so there's this interesting thing where like I can't remember. Dune kind of started this trend of making half a movie.
Is that true at all?
It's not the first one to do it.
Harry Potter?
Fuck Harry Potter.
Fucking Twilight? Like, no, they've been doing this, man.
No, but what I mean is like if you take... It's hard to compare it to Harry Potter and Twilight because it's different. If you take Dune and put it on a 3-act structure, the first movie only gets you to the midpoint.
Yeah.
If you take Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 1 and take that first movie, it technically has a 3-act structure that gets you all the way through. That's purely what I mean. Like Dune ends with them walking away into the desert and you're like, wait, this is only half a fucking movie.
It depends on what acts we're looking at. Because I think Paul Atreides has 3 acts.
No. Look, the way there's these. I'm gonna sound so pretentious. There's these 2 French movies from back in the day that they
the French movies. I don't know if you've seen them, you Americans will.
Twist my little pencil mustache. But there's these 2 French movies, and they like literally, if you take them, each movie has its own 3-act structure, but then when you put them together, they create a 3-act structure.
Yes.
It's like, I don't know that Deathly Hallows and the Twilight movies technically do that in any sort of like real meaningful way. Like they just,
not at all.
They just feel like a book having part 1, which is, they're books, but Dune...
And books are stupid.
Books are dumb. You guys need to stop reading and watch more movies.
Books are for idiots. Movies are for cool guys. Cool guys who get laid. So if you read books, put them down. Burn them.
Yeah. Okay, wait. God damn it.
Okay, so for context, we went and saw this at 10 p.m. last night. Because like out of nowhere, me and because this is like what, like the 3rd weekend. So it's like it is rapidly getting pushed out of the theaters, which is awful because this movie rules, kind of. This movie rules. Yeah. So we went and saw it at 10 p.m. We didn't get out until 1 a.m. and it is now 10 in the morning the next morning. So I think we're both a little loopy and tired, but in a good way and
fun,
in a fun
interesting way. Anyway,
so there's gonna be some meandering.
But like, to me, Dune has like started because a Spider-Verse, the new Spider-Verse movie, is doing the same thing.
Right.
Across the Spider-Verse, so it's like, but they're marketing themselves like weirdly. They're like Dune at the end or Dune at the beginning of the movie. It wasn't called Dune Part 1, but at the beginning of the movie, the title card, it says Dune Part 1.
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, I could just call it Dead Reckoning. You know what I mean? The idea being that when they come out, you can just call it Dead Reckoning.
Yeah.
And I think that is what the point is. I don't know. I agree with the names, but I like the name Dead Reckoning. I think like Dead Reckoning is cool.
Yeah, Dead Reckoning's good.
It's a good name.
Just the but it's like fucking John Wick 3 Parabellum, John Wick 4. It's like it has a little bit of that vibe to me.
Well, I mean, the Fast and Furious movies literally just essentially adding and taking away those.
Okay. Do we want to segue from Fast and Furious into a major thing about this movie?
Okay. So, we'll talk about this movie, actually, I promise.
Spoilers for Dead Reckoning.
And Fast X, which we already covered. But anyway, okay. You and I both agreed on this immediately, and it's very weird, but I'm going to let you take it.
There is a weird amount of connective tissue between Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, and Fast X.
Part 1.
Is it part
No,
1?
The next one's 11, but it is like half a movie because it ends in the middle of a scene.
Literally very much half a movie. And there's so much weird connective tissue between these 2 movies.
Yeah, they both kind of are. I mean, the globe hopping nature of them is with it, but they both have massive sequences in Rome,
massive driving sequences
where
in Rome,
they go down the Spanish Steps,
where there is a lot of
and around the Colosseum,
driving down the Spanish Steps.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of shared locations and even like kind of like the way like the way that certain action things take place. Obviously, there's not a gigantic ball
chasing them,
but I don't know. Like there's a lot of rolling.
But yeah, the cars roll. What was the other thing we said? It was like a bunch of weird.
Oh, the sunset shot.
Yes,
so
where
in Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, it's they're looking over Rome.
It's Venice in that one.
Or was it Venice? Sorry.
But it's still a Roman city at sunset.
They're looking over this beautiful city at sunset, and he's like with like somebody that he has like intense feelings for, and then you cut to Fast X, and it's literally the exact same scene, only it's Vin and Helen Mirren,
the love of his life,
the love of
Helen
his
Mirren.
It's weird how much. There was another movie while I was watching. I was like, that's in another 2023 blockbuster too, but I can't remember what it was. Hold on. I took some notes during the movie. Let me see if I actually wrote it down. I don't think I did.
I think there were actors that were in both. What was the thing with the actors I was talking about? Like you could. Oh, it was the other. It's all the movies that are like part 1, part 2 right now. Like Rebecca Ferguson is in Dune, and then. Oh, somebody else was in like Jason Momoa was in Fast X and he was in Dune. It's like they're just sharing actors between the 3 or 4 of these movies.
I'm sure you can make even more
Oscar Isaac is in the Spider-Verse movie and he's in Dune.
Yeah.
They're all just like, hey, what if we made like a bunch of 2-parter movies and just shared all the actors? Double the paychecks.
Hey.
I mean, legitimately, you sign on, you get guaranteed 2. For all of these, I think they've all been. Well, Fast X wasn't exactly successful.
Yeah.
Super weird.
Oscar Isaac definitely didn't get guaranteed 2.
No, that's true. Well, he got guaranteed 3, which is weird for two-parter movies because he's in Spider-Verse 1 or Across the Spider-Verse and then Beyond the Spider-Verse and then Dune. So,
but he's only in Dune
due to the sharing policy that apparently these movies have.
Yeah, it's like trading
baseball cards.
Yeah, it's like trading players.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
When are we gonna get Timmy in a Fast and Furious movie? I don't actually want that. I do kind of now. Actually,
I would love to see Timothy Chalamet in
Timothy Charizard
driving a fucking Tonka truck down. Just put him in the biggest, most monster thing, and his tiny little guy just like shambles out of it.
He just like tries to falls off the monster truck. Yeah, that's great. Anyway,
so there's a weird amount of Fast X in Dead Reckoning. I mean, there's just like a lot of cars.
Yeah,
there's a lot of car stunts.
A lot of driving,
which I'm okay with. It was
cars
all
and
badass.
motorcycle stuff.
Yeah,
there's like Tom Cruise has 2 separate motorcycle things in this movie.
Yeah,
one of them is better than the other.
Which one?
One of the movies is better than the other movie.
I was like, which motorcycle better than another motorcycle?
No. Well, actually, the first motorcycle thing he does is not that stunty. It's just him kind of driving through Rome.
Yeah.
And then the second one, he does one of the craziest stunts I've ever seen.
Which one?
The motorcycle off the cliff, which is like how they marketed this movie, which is like brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, literally, like at this point, these movies are marketed off of the stunt.
Yeah.
I mean,
which is genius.
Which is awesome.
Well, legitimately, I think when we went and saw Avatar 2, there wasn't a trailer for this movie. It was just a behind-the-scenes package of them filming that moment.
Yeah. Which was cool.
Which was sick. Like super cool. Okay, actually segueing into this movie, I want to talk about the setup of that stunt just because it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Where all of these movies is like, he always hits some kind of fuck-it moment that makes him have to do it.
Yeah.
The halo jump, the flying the helicopter. Like, there's always some like thing that makes him have to do this.
Yeah.
And this movie's version of that is the train going too fast so he can't get on it. So Benji just drives him up a cliff and tells him to jump off.
Yeah.
Like, and it's still
jump off the fucking cliff, you pussy.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm under a lot of pressure. It's like it's
Tom Cruise, and Ethan Hunt's like, you're.
I love that wide where he's just like.
Okay, like there is a lot of humor in this movie.
Yes,
it all works for me. Like there isn't anything that isn't like that wasn't funny, but there's just like so much more humor in this than any other.
There's like one or two things that for me I was like, okay, and it was
Did it work better or worse the first and second time?
Some of it worked better the first time. I'm trying to think of the things. The one that sticks out to me is like when he's in the car and he's like when he like crashes it because he's in the
yeah
like that. I was like, this just feels like a weird moment for a joke. You know what I mean? Like
really,
the joke is that the car is little and drives fast.
Yeah,
like he didn't need to like crash it into a wall and be like, sometimes they take me a little. It's like, I don't know.
That one lasted just a little too long.
Yeah, but when they roll and flip seats is like
that was a good
really
one.
Funny.
That's a good one.
It's you know,
there's just like a weird amount of humor for one of these movies.
Normally,
like the rest of them aren't really that funny.
No, they're like fun, and then you have Benji as your comedic relief.
Right.
But what is it? Rogue Nation has a bit of humor in a sequence where his heart has stopped, and so he's like kind of out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're typically not like this.
I think you could probably find some jokes in like Ghost Prot too, because it's like Brad Bird, and he's good at that. He's good at it's like you know what I mean. Like there is like the moment where he's on the side of the Burj Khalifa and his glove starts going. It's like even that moment has some has some humor in it, but at the same time it's like,
well, it also that one has one of the best line reads ever.
Which one?
When he's on the side of the building and Benji's like yelling at him, or Jeremy Renner's yelling at him about something, and he's like, "You need to get to." He's like, "No shit!" Like, go back and watch his line reading on that. So good.
Yeah, that's a good one. I forgot about that. Yeah,
so that's like there's humor, but it's more levity. This is like jokes.
These are like straight like set up punchline jokes.
Yeah,
it's interesting,
and it's a lot more like, how to describe it? It's the airport sequence where they're like muting him, and then he like hops on.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Hey, Ethan, what is always ahead but never? What's always coming but never arrives?" You know what I mean? It's like there's a lot more of those like situational jokes in it too, which like we talked about this a little last night. Is like Macquarie came into these movies very much like, I need to be like kind of a different director on each one. Each of my 3 movies needs to feel very different. And they do. I think Rogue Nation feels very much like Rogue Nation. Fallout feels very much like Fallout. And this one feels very much like this one.
Yeah.
But I also think you're right, where this one has so much like DNA of the first one in it.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
there's a lot shared.
But the first one's not like funny. So I was like, I wonder where that came from in this process. If they were just on set and super stressed and they're like, we need to tell a joke today. Like, let's roll a car and have us flip seats.
Yeah. So with that said, segueing into like, so this was the COVID movie.
Big time the COVID movie.
How do you think that affected the final product?
The first time I watched it, had much stronger opinions on this.
Yeah.
Where I walked out and I was like, oh, this was a COVID movie. Like, hard stop. Because there's a lot of characters talking on comms, not together.
Yeah.
A lot of characters in singles.
A lot of singles.
And then there were several times where I was like, oh, these two people are not on set together. Like, at all.
Yeah.
But they're in frame together and it just looks to me like digitally comped on. And I'm like, why did we do this? And it's a lot more green screen than there has been in previous ones. Like a lot more green screen.
Yeah.
In ways that it's like he's still doing a stunt.
Yeah.
I just wish I have the same issue with the Fallout moment, the Halo jump in Fallout, where it's like he's doing this incredible thing, and then for like half of it, there's a lightning storm CGI gobbledygook in it a little bit, where you're like, I don't know, I would have toned that back a little bit. They needed it to make it dangerous or what, more dangerous. But
I feel like there's a world where they could have done it without that. You know what I mean?
What you could have done is him just not fix his oxygen thing, and he jumps out and he realizes he's passed out, so he has to catch him.
Yeah.
Then all you have to do is CGI out the ground, which I can be okay with.
I think another thing they could have done was, they both jump out of the or Tom Cruise jumps out first or something like that. So he pulls off the thing. He whatever his name is, in fucking Henry Cavill, but I don't remember his character's name. He jumps out first. Tom Cruise like catches up with him. It becomes like a competition kind of thing, and then that's when so Tom Cruise like passes him, and then Henry Cavill's character like bumps him or something and knocks his own oxygen or something. Like make it more kind of bumpy and competition-y as opposed to literally getting fucking struck by lightning.
Yeah. And then just like falling.
And the only thing that happens is his thing gets removed. He doesn't fucking die. His oxygen mask gets
yeah. Well, that one has a funny joke too there now that I'm thinking about when Tom Cruise had the worst time of his life getting down and then he just lands and he's like lost your oxygen.
Yeah, that's a good moment.
Henry Cavill's quite funny in that movie.
Yeah, he's funny.
Brilliant in it, but he's quite funny too.
Yeah.
In a very intentional way.
Yeah. Yeah, like Henry Cavill is like great in that, but like so to kind of spin back to Dead Reckoning, because like you said, there's a lot of green screen. There's a lot of CGI in this movie, and not all of it looks good.
No.
It's like surprising to me how much there is, and even like that I think is maybe the most disappointing thing to me about this movie is even the big stunt kind of doesn't look great from a CGI perspective.
I think when he does that, I think the ground replacement on it is great. I like it.
That was the thing that I didn't think looked good.
I also think it's because I've seen all the behind the scenes footage of the ramp that makes me like realize. I thought the ground it's the ground replacement after he's off the cliff.
Yes.
That doesn't look good to you?
No. After he's off the cliff, looks fine.
That's what I mean.
It's the driving.
No, the driving, bad. I agree. That's what I'm saying. That part doesn't look good, but as soon as he's off the cliff,
yes,
I think it looks great.
Because I don't think there's any replacement.
There is. I've seen the before and after they replaced because they wanted something to look different down on the ground.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same thing with the skydiving. They just put Paris under it. They were just like, oh, we need something that looks more whatever.
Interesting.
I don't understand.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, like I agree with you.
That where the drive up,
the ramp thing that they built doesn't quite work.
That's the thing is like the frustrating thing is like, I wish they wouldn't have shown that because now I know what it actually looked like, and so I'm like, oh, there's no fucking ramp there, and so you can see the fact that the tires are CGI. You know what I mean? Like in order to replace them, in order to replace the ground, they had to replace the tires.
Yeah,
it's like,
It does get in the way of, again, one of the craziest stunts I've ever seen.
It just makes it feel fake when we know it was real.
Yeah.
It's like, I just wish there was a way that like either A, they could have put the ramp in, or B, not needed the ramp.
That I fully agree with you. That was a mistake.
Yeah, it's just like unless you could make it perfect, like, I feel like you shouldn't have done it.
Like to have to do it safely, right? Because again, one of the craziest things,
right?
You have to do a ramp. Like it's the only safe way to do it. And finding an excuse for there to be a ramp is tough. Off the side of a cliff. Is like impossible. Right. I just wish they had simplified the drive up. Like they make it all this like weird terrain kind of thing to match everything, but it's like it could have just been like a rock face that you could have just put in, and I think that would have looked better.
Yeah. There was just several of those moments where I was like,
a lot of
I really wish this looked better.
And like the train sequence when they're going up the train as it's falling off thing, like, really fun.
Great.
A lot of CGI.
Like, and especially when they're inside the train, there isn't that much.
Yeah,
you know,
but as soon as you see out, you're like, oh, which is crazy because I know they filmed a lot of not off the side of a cliff, obviously, but there's a lot like there's like some of the first images were when Haley Atwell's like falling off the train and he catches her. There's real footage of them on a train doing that.
Yeah,
it's like, but when you watch it in the movie, it looks CGI.
Yeah, like I said, like that might be the most disappointing thing to me about this movie. It's just like a lot of it is actually real, but feels kind of fake
because of what they augment.
They just like. The augmentation, they augmented too much, or the augmentation they did
doesn't work.
Just doesn't sell.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with that. There's like,
but the stunts are so fucking cool.
Yeah,
like it just like cheapens it ever so slightly.
Like all of the top of the train stuff doesn't look amazing.
Yeah. Oh, top of the train stuff. Indiana Jones.
Indiana. Oh yeah. It does. There's the whole train.
There's the whole
Indiana Jones,
exact same train fight at the beginning of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Like there's several of those.
Well, and the famous train shit from the first mission.
The first
you know
one,
what I mean?
Like so we kind of subtly brought this up earlier. There is so much connective tissue story wise, not even just visuals, story wise to the first one.
And you talk about visuals, but like tone, a lot of it also.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, just like we've got the son and daughter of Max from the first movie. We've got the dude who came back, you know, or the person who set Ethan Hunt on this, you know, like
the return of Ethan's love of close-up magic.
Yes. Yes, like actually, yes.
Yeah.
Like actually, yes.
know.
There's a lot of that in this.
What
Think about that. That's so true.
Yeah, dude.
That's fucking hilarious. Okay. Yeah, like there's a lot of obviously we're building to something.
Yeah.
It's like fucking if John Voight shows up in Dead Reckoning Part 2, I don't think I'm going to be happy about it.
No.
John Voight sucks. He's a fine actor. He's a bad person.
Yeah. Didn't he die in the first one?
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, but they'll find a way. Oh, okay.
I can't remember exactly how he goes out.
Do you have any other thoughts on the visuals? I'm having a thought. Like anything else that just...
About just all visuals?
Well,
or are we talking about... Because here's the thing. I don't think this movie looks very good.
No.
Which is really sad because I think Fallout looks really good. Rogue Nation looks really good.
They switched to digital cameras for sections of it.
Oh, I was like... For section... I thought... Literally, there...
I believe sections of it because I know I've seen the footage of the follow cars in Rome, and it's like a tiny little digital camera.
I mean, like Christopher McQuarrie. I think it's Christopher McQuarrie said like Tom Cruise has a hatred of the digital image or something. I can't remember exactly what the word is. It's like,
and I think that's part of that COVID protocol shit that they were just like, look, you can't. The budget isn't gonna take it for us to use film for these chase scenes.
That makes sense.
Because that's the only confirmed thing that I know that was on digital.
Yeah.
Is because I've seen the follow cars with the cranes, and it's like this little itty bitty.
Yeah, that would make sense to me. And I don't, that makes sense.
I can be more okay with that. But
there's no world where they haven't done that before. You know what I mean? Like where some of the follow cars and crash cams are not digital.
Yeah.
You know?
But I agree, it just doesn't.
I don't think it's digital versus film. I don't think that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like I just think some of the visuals just don't look good.
Yeah.
Like I just don't think certain scenes are shot particularly well, and
again,
then like so much of it is like the layering and the green screen and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and
just doesn't
again,
look great.
it's that fucking COVID-ness of it that I because
see, that's the funny thing is in the theater I did not see it as a COVID issue. It didn't like, and that's probably exactly
because
what the
this
truth
movie
is.
filmed in 2020, and came out in 2023, and so you're like, it doesn't like, you're not watching it. It's just not like a Marvel movie where you're like, oh, y'all just decided not to be in the same continent to film these things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like, and I don't know, maybe it wasn't all a COVID thing, and maybe they were just really trying to hit an aesthetic or something.
And don't get me wrong, like. It just didn't. I didn't think of that in the theater, but you're probably exactly right. It's probably so much of the reason why.
It's like, I think that's what it is, because that was when the protocols were the most strict about like having certain numbers of people on set, and like when actors have to take their masks off, if they get it, they have to shut down, so they just don't film in the same rooms.
Yeah.
Like, I think so much of that bakes in, and it was like you said, it was the COVID movie that was shooting. So
there's that famous audio that came from on set where Tom Cruise is like yelling at people for not taking it seriously.
Yeah, which like, look, Tom Cruise is one of those celebrities that like, I love his movies so much, and I hate him as a person.
Hey, honestly, when that came out, I was like, go Tom Cruise.
No, literally, that was my everyone was the joke on Twitter was Tom Cruise yells at someone about COVID protocol safety. Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
Because he wasn't being like a fucking asshole about, you know what I mean?
He was just mad.
He's not yelling. He's yelling at people for their own safety and for
the safety of everyone around them.
around them.
And the fact that people work, you know what I mean? Like,
and the fact that this is a job. These are people like, and you not taking it seriously is going to harm everyone else in terms, like, not only physically, but also monetarily.
And I would feel different if it was like Simon Pegg yelling at everyone, because Tom Cruise is a producer on the movie.
He is this is Christopher McQuarrie's movie, but he's like almost like the shadow director.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's been producing these movies since what, like the second one, since the third one. Like he's been producing these movies for an incredibly long time.
So from that perspective,
this series.
That's the producer's job. If people will not get behind the protocol, you have to shut shit down, right? Like,
yeah.
So from that perspective, I'm okay with Tom. Like, again, I was like, good job, Tom Cruise.
He's not throwing things at people. He's not calling people awful names. He is telling people to get their fucking shit together. And so I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I do not have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not Christian Bale yelling at the cinematographer because he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like, which he hasn't had one of those in a long time. So hopefully Christian Bale, thank you. Christian Bale is better than he used to be. But it's like, it isn't one of those. It isn't David O. Russell cussing out whatever. I can't remember what actress he was.
I never saw that movie. So
it's not one of those where it's just like two people butting heads.
Yeah.
It is him telling the cast and crew to be like, if we don't take this seriously, movies will stop for the next couple of years, and we can't let that happen.
Yeah.
I can't let that happen, and we can't let that happen. So, Tom Cruise, you're good on my book. Come on the pod.
Yeah, wow. All right. I didn't know that was heavy. You want to know my funny... before we talk about my like funny thing about this movie that I saw one person talking about, and then now I'm like, holy shit, is that what this movie's about? Before we get to that funny thing, I'm going to talk my biggest issue with this movie.
Yes.
Rebecca Ferguson.
Oh.
Like,
yeah.
And I don't know if this was like a scheduling thing when they all were signing contracts because Dune Part 2 or Dune, or I don't know if that was what the original reason was, and then they just were stuck with that. Or if she wanted out, or
that's what it feels like.
Or what the fuck was going on?
It feels like she wanted out, and so they just replaced her with Haley Atwell. That's seriously what it feels like.
I think it is a terrible decision to kill her off. At least the way they did it.
The fact that she actually dies off screen. Like, look, she gets stabbed on screen, but she dies off screen. What?
Yeah, I think that is such a stupid decision.
And that's the thing is, to me, it very much reads as Rebecca Ferguson wanted out.
Yeah.
She had Dune. She had other things going on.
She's been making money doing it already. So like she's done. This will be her third one.
I don't think she wants to do this forever.
Yeah, but it's like, the story, the usage of her in the story as well is dumb. Where it's like she's just back to doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And then she dies off, and it's like
it's literally like they even make a comment on it.
Yes.
Where it's like this is a pattern.
Revolving door of women in his life. And I'm like, oh my god, okay.
Like, damn. Okay.
Yeah, and then it's like I also don't buy into the like Haley Atwell and him's like maybe attraction to one another. Like they have chemistry.
They have chemistry, but
it's not.
Yeah.
I don't buy that where he's like grabbing her and then jumping off the thing. It's like I don't buy that. I really don't. And it's just, which is a bummer because I really like Haley Atwell.
I do love the line where he's like, I can promise you one thing, your life will always be more important to me than my own.
Yeah.
Because
that feels like Ethan.
That feels like Ethan, and I love that because like the funny thing is that's true for literally everyone on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so personal and so real at that moment. That was my favorite moment in the entire movie.
Yeah,
was literally that line.
Yeah, it's and like I think there's a few things like that. I think how he gets on the train is bullshit. It's funny,
yeah,
but it's bullshit. Like you could have done something way cooler, or like I don't know. Now, how do you land him on a train from parachuting? Like
again, it goes back to it's weirdly funny at times. Where
yeah,
it's like, man, they really like that made me actually jump and laugh.
Yeah, and like the movie's handling of the moment where he's like over Gabriel, like about to stab him. You see him literally think about it. Gabriel's like, I'm the only one who knows the location. And then he like thinks, and then he goes to him. They had a conversation about that before in the movie, and you're like, I don't buy this moment now. And now I don't know. Maybe that was the moment he decided he's like, I'm going to take the key, so I need to distract him. Yeah, it's like maybe that's what that was.
I honestly, I think that's exactly.
But it's just like it took me watching it twice to be like, okay, maybe that's what they're doing. Yeah. It just was a little bit of a frustrating. It's got those little things baked in there to what is overall a really rad movie that's just too long.
Yeah,
like it's.
You know the funny thing, it didn't feel too long for me, even when watching it until 1 a.m. It didn't feel too long. It didn't
the first time for me, and on a rewatch, I was kind of like, you could trim this up by 3-4 minutes here, 2 minutes there.
You could trim it up, but it didn't feel that long.
And the fucking how the handling of whatever the guy that's been chasing him the whole movie.
Yeah,
it's like there obviously is something there. Like he's like, but it is personal, and then they have like the square off thing, but like. His handling of being mean to Kittredge after helping Hunt, and then at the end being like, "Get out of my way," and he's like gonna shoot him off when he's speed winging away or whatever. It's like it feels like he's flip flopping in a weird way, and we don't resolve anything with him. So it's like some of the story stuff in this movie really like drags it down a little.
I agree,
especially when like Ghost Protocol is such a solid story. Rogue Nation is such a solid story. And then Fallout is such a solid story.
I think, I mean, like, honestly, since this is by far the messiest.
Yes.
Since 2?
Since 2.
Like,
it's my least favorite of the Macquarie era. I might like 3 more, but I don't know.
I like 3 more.
Yeah.
Just kind of unequivocally. I like.
So where would you rank this at, like, second to last?
Like, yes, but that like that, because that's the thing, is last is so far down.
Yeah.
And then like the rest are very much in competition with a couple of very high standouts, specifically Fallout.
Yeah.
Like Fallout is just like
Fallout's the best one.
transcendently great.
Yeah.
And like this is the thing. I watched Fallout
Immediately.
I watched out literally. I finished Fallout and we drove to the theater to watch this. And I think that may have hurt the experience of this one because Fallout is just so much better.
I was going to rewatch them all, and then I just didn't have time, and I'm kind of glad I didn't.
I need to rewatch Rogue Nation. I do wish I had rewatched Rogue Nation prior to this at some point because I've only seen it once, and it was a long time ago at this point. So I barely, like of all of them, it is the one I remember. Well, I also need to. I need to rewatch the second one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a very long time.
I said that in the theater, and then they played a clip of the second one on screen, and I went, "Okay, maybe I don't."
Literally,
like it was literally within 10 seconds.
Yeah,
I was like, "Well, okay,
yeah, maybe I don't need to rewatch.
maybe I don't need to watch. Maybe I'll watch the knife part from that one, which
just
is
watch
again,
a couple of scenes. Just look at Tandy Newton. You're good.
There we are. Anyway, that is like my biggest issue is some of the story stuff, but specifically the handling of Ilsa is just I do not like.
Yeah.
Because I bought them. I bought them as like a thing.
I loved Ilsa. I really, really loved Ilsa. Like truly finally found like Ethan Hunt's equal in a lot of ways. And I thought she was a very good, cool character, and Rebecca Ferguson fucking rules.
Oh, how do you feel? This is so random. I'm sorry. How do you feel about the when Hayley Atwell is doubling as the White Lotus and her eyes are just brown and no one says anything? Is that something that bothered you at all?
I did not even notice it. If it makes you feel better.
That is incredible because the whole time I was like, why the fuck are we doing this? You're talking about Vanessa Kirby, someone who has like famously blue eyes.
I did not even notice that.
Because like it's so simple. You just have her put on blue contacts, and then when she takes the mask off, you have Hayley Atwell wear blue contacts for one scene, and then she pulls them out.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Dude, that is so funny because it genuinely bothers me. Like I was watching it and I was like, why did they choose to do this? Because then it just I'm confused as to like, does no one notice the eye color of these people? Like, because the point of the mask is they're supposed to be so.
I didn't.
Look, there's no reason for me to be peeved by this, but it was just one of those things where I was like,
yeah, I literally. Still,
it was just distracting to me. That's all.
That's funny. That's to me. That's funny. Yeah, no, didn't even catch it.
Oh well, maybe just me. Is just me apparently. Anyway,
apparently.
Now here's my big funny thing that I saw someone talk about, and then watching it, I saw somebody talk about it before that I saw the first time, and then watching it a second time, I was like, oh my god, that's just what this movie is.
I guess?
Yes.
Tom Cruise only makes autobiographies at this point, and this movie is part of that autobiography where this movie is so against digital filmmaking.
You were so close to being like exactly the point I was going to make. So you're right about the autobiography stuff. You're right about all that, but it's about him taking down Christianity in the name of Scientology.
Whoa! Holy shit. Okay, go.
Okay, because think about it, right? As the movie progresses, they start referring to the entity as a god.
God, yeah.
Literally at times. And the MacGuffin of the movie, the key is a crucifix. And it's about him being like, I will hunt you down and stop you in the name of good.
Guys, the plot thickens. We're getting to the bottom of it, baby. First, it was Christopher Nolan telling us about JFK. Now, it's fucking Tom Cruise telling us he's taking down the Christian church. It's getting interesting, folks. Stay tuned.
But am I wrong? Like,
not at all.
Like, this. I don't think literally.
But there's a tinge of it.
But
sure.
When he was getting ready for the scenes, he was like,
I will do this for you, L. Ron Hubbard.
whatever
satanic symbol he makes on his body that is similar
just
to
draws a pentagram. Anyway, is that not very funny
that
and
is
a little accurate?
fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
The actual answer is the thing I said.
Yes, but also like they
so-
made this years ago before AI was starting to like become this massive thing.
It feels so timely
It
because
does.
of that.
No,
though.
it does. But
what-
like, think about the
Okay.
meta nature of it. It's
but
just,
but actually though, like, I mean, like I actually do think this is him slightly railing against digital filmmaking.
Yeah.
like honestly, like since like what Ghost Pro, these movies have been autobiographies in weird ways. Or no,
Yeah.
since the first one. If you, Patrick A. Williams has a wonderful video about this.
specifically
Go watch
like 3. You know what I mean? Is where he talks about like that's where it becomes so evident. Where
Yeah.
he's like he wanted to be a family.
I mean,
man,
it's like,
and,
I mean, even from the very first one, from the jump, where it's like he's the new guy on the block working with these like absolute legends, and then the second one, he's like, I'm a cool guy. I'm the
Yeah.
coolest
I'm a cool
guy in
action
Hollywood.
star.
I'm a cool action star working with cool action people. Third one, no, I'm a family man.
I'm the good guy.
I'm a
the,
Scientologist family man. You can be a weird fucking weirdo like me and be a family man. In 4, it's I am a loner, but I am the best at what I do.
Yeah.
And then it just gets like it descends into like literally like from Ghost Pro on is I am a loner, but I'm better than everyone else at it. I am truly the only person keeping action filmmaking alive.
Yeah.
And then like even Top Gun is a reflection of that.
Yeah.
Of being like I am still the best at it. Like the old ways are better. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And then this is just like him. It feels like him railing against digital filmmaking, railing against the digital world. In they're going back to all this analog technology and like shortwave radio really was better than 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. Like it's wild. Like. These movies, all of his movies, for so long have been so weirdly autobiographical.
Yeah.
And this one just fits perfectly right into that.
Yeah.
Especially if you consider the fucking Scientology angle, which is hilarious.
I know, right?
I love that so much.
Yeah, I literally the second time I was watching, I was like, I think there's a part I chuckled and you looked at me and I was like, I'll tell you later.
Yeah,
Like-
So I wrote some notes while we were watching
Yeah.
the movie. All of these we've already covered, and I only wrote a couple. So like the Rome car action of 2023, that's apparently
weirdly
like a thing.
prevalent.
Digital Enemy is like the digital is digital filmmaking. The sunset shot literally made me fucking giggle. Mantis rules.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's sick in this. I
She's
want
so
her.
good.
Like, look, is like character wise, she's kind of nothing, but like
she's having the time of her.
characterization.
Yes,
awesome.
Yeah, when
Like-
she's just dressed like a mime for some reason and has a
So
sword.
fucking cool.
Awesome, like,
dude. She rules.
Yeah, I was very into.
She's
into
just like
that.
growling and like yelling the entire time and like laughing maniacally. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, she's so fun.
Yeah.
She's so fun.
And
in this.
she gets. She's alive still at the end, right? Like,
Yeah. We got a pulse.
They got a pulse, right? Where I was like, man, are they gonna kill her? She was really fun in this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope
she's
she
gonna-
comes back and
she's
joins
gonna-
the team.
she's gonna be an agent. Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
The French speaking agent. Oh yeah, we love. Weirdly funny. I don't remember what my thought here was, but I said just surrounded by tech. Like, I mean, I think that's even more into the like the kind of digital film.
When he walks up into a close and flips out the phone.
Yes, jeez. When he pulls out the Galaxy Flip, made me absolutely fucking lose it.
It's
Like
so
that.
good.
Like I was actually laughing in the theater.
So good.
Like I listen to a lot of tech podcasts and that kind of shit. So like the Galaxy Flip 5 or whatever like just released, and so I was just like, it was just like particularly at the top of my. And when that movie came out, I think when that movie was shot, like those phones were like new.
Yeah.
So it's just like funny. Again, autobiography. And then AI sounds. There's a lot of
Yeah.
AI sounds in this movie.
Literally on this one, I was like, why did so many of them do that?
That's also very cheesy.
Yeah.
In a way that I was like, yeah, I didn't need it. Like where the entity is like an eye.
It's like
shape
you could
and
say
it's blue.
you could say who I represent is this party. It's like, and then
So wait, is he AI Bye.
No. Oh yeah, the part when he's got the weird fucking mask. That he like. That was so strange to me. It's like he's not, but he works for the thing.
But what that was the most confusing and dumbfounding part of the movie, where he comes out of the fucking box and
because like it should have just been like an oxygen mask.
That's
that
what
he had
it
on.
was, but then it's making the AI
but the
sounds.
thing was like
has
covered and has the little thing on it. It's like, are you saying something with this? Like
I have no idea. I'm sure it's something.
And he has like the watch that tells him when to do stuff and.
If the mask doesn't come back in any way in the second one,
and explain like because it looked like he like woke up after he took it off too, and so he wasn't like watching a screen or something.
I'm like, is this dude a cyborg? Like legit?
It felt weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
weird,
strange, odd.
But anyway, this movie is good and worth seeing in the theater. It's really messy and but it's good and fun.
Yeah, I mean,
and worth your time.
Mission Impossible. I mean, talk about box office. That's one thing. It's like, why did they bury this movie here? 1 week before Barbenheimer.
Weird choice.
It got 1 week of IMAX screens because of the Barbenheimer deal, and Tom Cruise was not happy about that. But why wouldn't they push it 3 or 4? Now the problem is they're trying to like, I don't know. Even if they had pushed it a couple of weeks, Oppenheimer's IMAX screens have been doing so well.
They couldn't have put it earlier in the year or a little late.
Right at the beginning of the summer.
Now that I think about it, how does this movie not look better than it does? They've had so much time to work on it. Like, it's not like they had crunch.
Yeah.
Like, they really could have finessed it.
I don't know, dude.
I guess they didn't want to spend more money than they had to, but at the same time,
it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it's like, and then they put it at maybe the worst time they could have.
Mm-hmm.
It's like right after some big old huge movies and right before fucking Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they could have put it, Memorial Day weekend or Labor Day weekend, and it would have done way better.
Yeah, it's like put it up against Fast X. It's gonna win. Like,
oh god, it would eat Fast X's lunch.
Yeah.
Deservingly. Like, this movie is way better. Like, way better than Fast X. Like, Fast X is also weirdly messy. Part 1 in Rome.
Yeah.
But this one really would have ate that movie's lunch.
Yeah.
Are they both Paramount movies? Is that why?
No, Universal is Fast.
Oh, okay. Okay, I mean, then why not?
I know.
Unless like Skydance is working on both,
that's
or
true.
Bad Robot or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Like, unless one of the production companies is working on it, like that's seriously the only reason.
So anyway,
yeah,
this movie, I think you summed it up great. Just it's messy, but it's worth seeing in a theater, and it's still a ton of fun.
Lessons
for me. I mean, it's tough because it's a mission movie. They're really just vehicles for what. Literally, the way they started writing this movie, I kid you not, was Tom Cruise went, "I want to drive a motorcycle off a cliff," and Chris McQuarrie went, "I want to crash a train," and that's where this came from. But
they didn't even crash. Okay,
but that's where all of them come from. You know what I mean? It's like they all come from that idea. Now that maybe is the lesson is like learn to work on the fly because you can because Fallout, there was no script for Fallout. They were like, there's times in that. Yeah, dude, you should listen to Chris McQuarrie talk about it. It's kind of crazy.
That movie is so fucking good. How is
exactly.
There not a script?
There's an outline. There are rarely scripts for these movies. You should listen. I'll send you a podcast of him talking about it.
It's like
nuts.
so clockwork perfect too.
I know, but I'm sure there was a script. But like there was times where he was like, he would tell his location scouts to go find me a location. And they're like, well, what's the scene? He's like, I don't know until I see the location. And so they would go find him places. And he's like, all these suck. And they're like, what?
I love that.
It's like all of these movies are just like very rarely is there ever a finished script.
Chris.
That's what he says. He's like, mission goes where it wants. He's just like, wherever the movie happens to take us is where we're going. We just know the stunts in between. And they write stuff around that.
Man, because it's like these movies are like. I mean, I can feel it in this one.
Yeah, okay, not to like shoot the screenwriters in the foot. They're obviously doing the work of like ripping through pages and stuff. Like Chris McQuarrie, I think, has a writing credit on these.
He does. There's 2 credits on it. It's him and somebody else.
So it's like, not to say they're not writing beforehand, but what I'm saying is like the pages they're going in with, I guarantee are very rarely the pages they're shooting.
Interesting.
Like that's and I may be exaggerating this a little bit.
I see. The funny thing is, I bet that's very true of Fallout. I don't know if that's true of this one because it's part 1 of a 2-parter.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know if that. Like I do think that look. Don't get me wrong. you know better than I do, so I'm not correcting you.
Yeah.
But it's like this one very much feels like, yes, they did start with, I want to jump off.
Well,
of
I
the
don't know
thing.
about this one, but that is where they started. Like,
Yeah.
and so that's I don't know.
But this one feels like that's the funny thing is like I feel like if there was writing prep. See, but that's the thing is like I don't know. That's a very interesting idea.
Yeah.
Like I want to look into that because that's really funny and really interesting.
Anyway, they're a fascinating way these movies end up getting made. That's kind of my lesson. Just learn to work on the fly because you can still make something great if you have to pivot.
Yeah.
Like, that's all the lesson from Mission, I think, which is these movies where it's like details get in the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
again, very autobiographical.
Just go with it, right? Like fucking Mission goes where it wants, right?
Yeah.
It's like the movie's gonna go where it wants. You just have to be along for the ride and help guide it. Like, that's all your job is.
I mean, it's like I think there's even autobiographical touches that you can take of like, like the commission, there's like the commissioner of the IMF of the week, which is the director of the movie.
Yeah.
And no matter what, Tom Cruise is going to be like, no, I am the IMF.
Yeah.
Like he always goes rogue. He always does what he wants to do.
This one starts with him going rogue. Like the beginning of the movie is them accepting the mission, but they're already rogue agents.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
They're just like skipped the part where they have to say fuck it. And just went. Anyway.
Wild.
So yeah, that would be my lesson, I think.
I don't have a good lesson. I'm going to piggyback off of yours. He's right. Listen to him.
There we go.
No, I just
can I get that soundbited or?
Hey, chat, clip that. Clip that, chat.
Clip that.
No, I agree. I think the things that don't work about this movie are why the other ones work better is like the practical action feels practical every time.
Yeah.
Where this one, like, it is practical, but because of the way it either had to be set up or just was set up, it doesn't feel practical.
Yeah.
And so like making sure that like you find that balance of like making it safe and doable while also not sacrificing the stunt.
Yeah.
Sacrificing the practicality of like how it actually happened on set. It's like, look, I think that like maybe that is the reason why they released so much footage beforehand of the actual stunt was like, it doesn't look great in the movie. We just need to show people what it actually looked like in real life. And then people will go, holy shit. But I think that also did it a disservice because like, I know what it was supposed to look like.
Yeah.
I remember what the ramp looked like.
Yeah.
So like the fact that it isn't there, it feels very CG. And it like it feels CG in a way that like Mission Impossible 3 does, you know what I mean? Where it's like jumping off the building and like it's on a set and like doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of feels like this, but it's like, but I know it's real. So I think that's a good like negative thing that I learned from this, but is good to take in the future, which is like making sure to, if you're going to do practical action, thread the needle between like safety, but also keeping as much practical as possible.
Yeah, it's like you could have found some way to have him jump off somewhere else, but maybe that was the only place that had the right terrain. I mean, you never.
Oh, for sure,
know.
for sure. I am positive that is exactly right.
Yeah, but it's like if you're gonna CGI shit, just CGI shit. Like, put a resort there or some fucking shit, and he drives right off of it, and then you can justify having the ramp or some ramp-like material. Anyway,
Right.
Anyway, that's Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Mission Impossible.
Part one.
Okay. B segment.
Segment.
We got a game. We got a quiz.
Oh, okay.
This is a Mission Impossible quiz.
Okay.
It's fairly easy.
Okay.
There's some questions that'll be difficult. All of these questions have multiple questions or multiple answers.
Okay.
So if you would like the multiple answers, ask
Okay.
for it.
Gotcha.
Let's try to go as fast as possible.
Okay.
Like let's try to make this a speed run.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to give you the question. If you can give me the answer, give me the answer. If you don't know the answer, ask for the multiple questions. Or
Gotcha.
the multiple answers, excuse me. Multiple choices is what I'm looking for. Multiple choice. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Oh, also, this is not factoring in the newest movie.
Okay.
So there's one question in particular where it is asking for the number of movies that include a certain thing.
Okay, yeah.
That is not including this movie.
Gotcha.
So factor that in. Are you ready?
Yep.
Which Mission Impossible movie begins with what appears to be a free solo rock climbing scene?
2.
Yes. What does the acronym IMF stand for?
Impossible Mission Force.
Yes. Besides Tom Cruise, which actor appears in every movie as a fellow IMF agent?
Ving Rhames.
Yes. Who plays Ethan Hunt's wife, Julia Meade Hunt?
Oh, Michelle Monaghan.
Yes, you got it. The Burj Khalifa building in Dubai is the setting for the daring stunt in which Mission Impossible
Ghost
movie?
Protocol.
Ghost Prot. Who directed the intensely action-packed Mission Impossible 2 movie?
John Woo.
Yes, it is. Which famous Paris landmark can Ethan Hunt be seen circling on a motorcycle in Mission Impossible Fallout?
Oh, the Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah, good job. I got that one wrong when I did this earlier. Every Mission Impossible movie features a self-destructing object which relays information about the mission to Ethan Hunt. Which object was not used in the film? Phone booth, umbrella, sunglasses, record player.
Phone booth.
Nope.
Record player? No, record player was shit. What was the other? Sunglasses was also used. So it's the other one. What's the other one?
Umbrella.
Umbrella. Damn it.
Process of elimination.
Damn it.
Who plays IMF agent and comedic relief Benji Dunn?
Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg. Which Mission Impossible film features an assassination scene at the Vienna State Opera?
Rogue Nation.
Yep. This actor dies in a grisly death in an elevator shaft at the beginning of the first Mission Impossible movie. Who is he?
I don't know the actor. I haven't seen the first one. So long.
Jeremy Rennie, Brad Pitt, John Voight, Emilio Estevez.
Emilio Estevez.
There you go. Only one Mission Impossible movie has been released in 3D. What is its title?
Ghost Protocol?
No.
Is it Rogue Nation?
No.
Is it 3? What?
Okay, here are the answers. Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol, Mission Impossible 2, Fallout.
Is it Fallout?
It's Fallout.
I have
Wild,
no memory
right?
of that.
Right? What is the name of the actor who played MI agent Ilsa Faust?
Rebecca Ferguson.
Yep. Which actor was made to look like a main character in the trailer for Mission Impossible 3, only to be killed off at the beginning of the movie?
Mission Impossible 3?
Katie Holmes, Michelle Williams, Terry Hatcher, Kerry Russell.
Kerry Russell.
Yep.
I could not remember her name.
How many Mission Impossible movies included scenes that were filmed in IMAX?
4.
No.
3.
No. The answer is... Oh, no, you're right. It is 3. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah,
Because
it is
4
3.
not including the new one. Yeah.
Not
or 3 not including the new one.
Yes,
That's
you are
important.
correct.
Yeah.
I apologize. The song I Disappear was written and performed for Mission Impossible 2 by which band? Sugar Ray, Metallica, Oasis, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Nope.
Metallica?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. Jim Phelps is the hero of the protagonist of Mission Impossible, the TV show. In the first movie, he's anything but. What did his evil plan entail? Blowing up the Kremlin, killing Ethan Hunt's family, double-crossing the IMF team and faking his own death, setting fire to the Pentagon.
Double-crossing the team and faking his own death.
Yep. Sir Anthony Hopkins makes an uncredited appearance in which Mission Impossible
2.
movie? Yep. How did Tom Cruise stay perfectly balanced when dropping from the ceiling in the now iconic scene from the first Mission Impossible movie? He put coins in his shoes, extra support cables, used a stunt double. He wore weighted shirt.
Weighted shirt.
Nope.
Coins in his shoes?
Yep.
Damn,
Isn't that
that's
funny?
kind of cool. I didn't know that.
Ethan Hunt can be seen hanging onto the outside of a plane in which movie?
5. Rogue Nation.
Yep. In order to jump out of a low-flying plane and parachute onto the ground, in Mission Impossible Fallout, Tom Cruise had to earn which certification? First Aid, Navy, Halo, SEAL.
Halo.
Yep. You know this director as the creator of Lost, but he also made Mission Impossible 3. Who is it?
J.J. Abrams.
We love it, J.J. Abrams. Which familiar CNN broadcaster had a brief cameo in Mission Impossible Fallout?
Oh, names. I need names.
John Berman, Dom Lemon, Anderson Cooper, Wolf Blitzer.
Wolf Blitzer?
Yep. Who composed the original Mission Impossible theme song? Lalo Schifrin, Hans Zimmer, Bernard Herrmann, Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman?
Nope.
I don't know what that is.
Lalo Schifrin.
Okay.
I'm pronouncing that name wrong. Prior to directing Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Brad Bird was known for his animated feature films. Which of the following did he direct? You know.
The Incredibles,
Yeah.
Iron Giant, and fucking Legend.
Which film studio released all 6 Mission Impossible movies?
Paramount.
Yep. How many Mission Impossible movies has Christopher McQuarrie directed so far?
Not including the new one, 2.
Yes.
So 3, and then
3.
It will be 4.
Yep. CIA assassin August Walker meets his demise in Mission Impossible Fallout. How does this happen?
CIA said Walker. The fucking chain grabs him and pulls him off the cliff.
By having a helicopter winch hook dropped on him as he hangs off the side of a cliff.
Yeah, it was such a good death.
This award-winning actor played dangerous arms dealer Owen Davian in Mission Impossible 3. Who was it?
I need names. I don't.
John Voight, Nicolas Cage, Sean Harris, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, I thought you said 2. Yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman. I didn't fucking knew that. I'm an idiot.
How many plutonium cores are there at the beginning of Mission Impossible Fallout?
3.
Yep. Excuse me.
Nice.
Alec Baldwin appeared in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation and Mission Impossible Fallout as which character? William Brandt, Solomon Lane, Theodore Brassel, Alan Hunley.
Alan Hunley.
Yep. What is the name of Vanessa Redgrave's character in Mission Impossible, the original?
Max.
Yep, you got it. I was going to give you the names, but you got it. Ethan Hunt and Julia Meade Hunt get married in which film?
3.
Yes. Which Mission Impossible movie had the biggest opening weekend?
Fallout.
Yes.
Okay.
Good job. Who directed the first Mission Impossible movie?
Brian De Palma.
Yep. I think you got like 32 out of 35.
Yeah.
Because I accidentally clicked one wrong.
Oh.
Or because you got.
I'll take it.
But hey, you did really good, and we did that really quick.
Awesome.
Go
Go
so
team.
Yeah. Go team. Fun game.
Fun game. Love some trivia.
Recommendations?
Recommendations. I will do, just because of that question with Brian De Palma, I am going to recommend, I'm going to grab the movie because I'm a dork and I have it. Where is it? Oh, it's early. There's this movie he made in the 70s called Sisters. It is so cool and so weird.
Yeah.
And it's like a pseudo horror movie, but really it's like an investigation kind of thing, but like with like horror elements and thriller elements. Like it's literally 92 minutes long.
Oh, we love it.
It's so quick. It's from 1973. I watched this movie. I did I watched like 5 movies from different decades one day. And so I started with this, and then I watched Dressed to Kill, and Dressed to Kill is so much more famous. Also a De Palma movie, and I don't like Dressed to Kill. That movie is aged like milk. And I tried to look past that because you're supposed to like watch movies for the time, but like it's hard. That one makes it hard. But Sisters was like shockingly good.
How so?
It's depiction of trans people
in
a way that I did not like, and I don't think anyone does. It's a well-made movie, but like
I'm sure there are people who like that.
Yeah,
who like that depiction.
great,
and they suck.
But Sisters is like an excellent. This will be an episode of the podcast at some point.
I'm very excited. I have never seen another Brian De Palma movie. The only Brian De Palma movie I've seen is Mission Impossible.
I think that was me until I had watched those two. But this movie's awesome. It's so fucking weird and original and cool and dark, and I'm just into this. So Sisters is great. It is spine number 89 of the Criterion Collection.
Bars.
Anyway, that's my recommendation because De Palma.
I didn't think about this beforehand, so I'm just gonna recommend Fallout. If you haven't seen Fallout, go watch Fallout, you fucking idiot.
Best one.
Like
it's the best one.
Best one. Is there any argument?
I think at personal preference, you can come down to an argument,
Yeah.
right? Like which one you prefer. But I think the best one is Fallout.
Yeah, I don't know how any argument could be made, like quality wise.
Yeah.
You could make an argument for basically anything else. Like there might be an argument for like Ghost Prot maybe, because that one freaking rules.
Yeah.
And like changes things up in a fun way. Like you brought up like yesterday, it's like in Ghost Prot everything breaks.
Yeah.
None of the gadgets work at any point, and that adds a lot of challenges and a lot more fun to the movie. Like that movie rules. Like but an argument maybe could be made for the first one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you win
that's
that.
like a preference thing, I think.
Yeah, but Fallout is just the best. So if you haven't seen it recently, go rewatch it. I watched it again last night, and man, that movie just fucking rules.
Yeah.
Man, like Henry Cavill is amazing.
Yes.
Like Ilsa Faust, absolutely ruling. The dude who plays
Sean Harris.
That's
his name, Sean Harris.
Damian Lane or whatever his name is. Absolutely rules. Like just good freaking movie.
Yeah.
Good movie, guys. Y'all made a good one. Y'all did a good one. And look, hey, this one's good too. Dead Reckoning Part 1's
just
good
not quite as good.
too. It's just messy. It's just messy. But you know,
what are you gonna do?
I feel like there's something else that hold on. Let me pull up my list. You vamp for a second. Let me see if there's anything recently that I saw that's worth talking about.
Follow us on TikTok.
Check
out our letterbox. We're sometimes pretty funny on there.
I've been known to bend the truth.
I just watched to throw another recommendation. Just watched Friday the 13th Part 2, and that movie is very fun. It's got a bunch of very fun kills. Jason eats shit in it a lot. It's great.
Oh, this is very random. This has nothing to do with anything, but I love this movie. Surf's Up.
Surf's Up.
That movie fucking rules.
Yeah.
For some reason, like I think there was like a sound on TikTok or something that made me go, I need to watch that movie.
Yeah.
And Megan had never seen it. I was like, Megan, you are watching Surf's Up. That movie is like really fun and just really like lighthearted, and like honestly, like the animation is great for the time too. Like the water, I just want to drink it. It looks so good. Like it's a good one, guys. It's a good one. Like so if you haven't seen Surf's Up and you need a good tight 90.
Yeah.
Tight 90, feel good. The soundtrack is impeccable.
Yeah.
Of like mid-aughts, like fun summer like pop rock.
Yeah.
Oh, good shit.
Good times.
Good shit.
Well, now you got a bunch of stuff to watch.
Yes, you do.
A bunch of Mission Impossible movies if you have homework to do.
Yeah. Watch all but the second one.
You need to watch all of our TikToks. You need to
Yeah.
read every review we've ever written on Letterboxd.
Oh, do we want to talk about Shot Deck?
Oh yeah, let's talk about Shot Deck.
Okay, so this is just for fun. This is just like a fun thing that we did.
Yeah. We're filmmakers. We do fun things.
We're filmmakers that do fun things. Okay,
Dweebs.
if that's all right
Is that
for you,
okay
is that all
with
right
you?
for you? I
Is
think
that
it's
fine?
okay. I think it's all right. I'm proud of myself. So Shot Deck. Shot Deck is an online platform where they host. It is the largest repository of high quality frames from movies. So if you need inspiration for something that you're working on, or you just want to like look at shots from movies, Shot Deck. Man, I wish we had a promo code. That
I know. That'd be fucking
We're not
awesome.
affiliated with Shot Deck.
We're trying though. We really are. We'll shill for you all day, Shot Deck.
Hey, we're trying to get paid because of this competition. So, for the past 3 or 4 years, they've been doing the Shot Deck recreation contest. So, what it is you take a shot from Shot Deck's repository and you recreate it as best you can. And there are categories and stuff that you can win, but they're giving out. As we're recording this, it is August 6th or something.
Yeah.
And so the competition went from July 1st to July 31st, and you had that amount of time to shoot and edit and publish your Shot Deck recreation. Mm-hmm. And so we saw that and we were like, you know what, let's do it this year.
Yeah.
I have never really done anything quite like that. I've done some like subtle recreation kind of stuff in the past, but nothing quite like this. And so I was like, you know what, let's do it. And so we put together a list of possible shots. Like I put a bunch on the list, you put a bunch on the list, and we kind of narrowed it down. And we ended up on a shot from Fight Club.
Yeah.
Because our friend Dylan, friend of the pod, and he's been in a lot of stuff that we've worked on in our creative,
we did
personal.
Yeah, most recently we did a 48-hour festival.
Yeah.
And he was in that.
And so, we had him come down and we did a shot near the end of the movie where he's like, where he finally realizes like if he shoots himself, he would also be shooting Tyler. So we did that one, and it was a ton of fun. Mm-hmm. And I think it came out really well. We
found a very inventive way to have a skyline in our home.
Yeah.
Involving tape at one point to create an effect. It's posted on both of our Instagrams.
Yeah.
Go check that out.
At Shane Likes Films.
At
Spencer Films.
Spencer Films 1.21 or something.
1.21 or something like that.
1.21 gigawatts. No one ever realizes that, but that's why I did that.
Is that actually what it is?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's freaking cool. But yeah, like that was a absolute blast to do. Hopefully we'll have other opportunities to do stuff like that again in the future.
Yeah.
I just figured that I shut that out because that was super fun. Go check it out on our Instagrams.
We'll report back if we win anything.
I don't know. I was going through yesterday looking at some of the competition. Who knows if we'll win or not.
Yeah.
I was really proud of the final result.
If nothing else, like I told you after, it's like if nothing else, we figured out that rear projection shit can work really well.
Yeah,
like,
the rear projection worked out
if we want to
really
fucking
well.
do some shit with that, it's completely doable and possible, and will sell pretty well.
Yeah, I was really proud of how that came out.
Yeah, so that was all.
Yeah, go check that out if that sounds even remotely interesting. And if you're interested in doing it, I'm sure they're going to do it again next year.
Yeah, just keep an eye out for it. It was a very fun thing to do. And Shot Deck is also just awesome. If you're a filmmaker and building lookbooks or reference for cinematography, anything like
Shot Deck,
looking for inspiration. Shot Deck. Sally Shot Deck, come on the pod.
Jimothy T. Shot Deck, come on the pod.
Get on here.
Anyway.
We should have just called this podcast Come on the Pod. Anyway,
If we do an interview show, it's going to be called TM.
trademark. Ah, okay. Anyway, you got a bunch of stuff to watch. You go check out that cool Shot Deck thing. Sign up for Shot Deck. They're awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can go do all that. Or don't. I don't know.